Welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast with your hosts, Kathy Brewer and Terry Huberman.
Well, hello there, and welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast. I'm Terry Huberman.
And I'm your co-host, Kathy Groover, and we will start this episode, as we do every episode, with an angel card. For those of you who listen to our New Year's Day show where we did readings, this will sound familiar to you. The angels are consistent. Adventure is the angel card today.
Nice.
It's an angel with a little walking stick and a backpack in between its wings. So that's hilarious. Your life is a grand adventure. Take risks, explore the unknown, journey forth into the great wide open without pre-planned outcomes.
Ooh, I like it.
I do like it too. Adventure, and it's one of my values. So speaking of adventure, a couple episodes ago, I shared that I was going to be staying on the Queen Mary in the most haunted room on the ship. And
Yes.
we did do that, and it was very fun. So we could talk all day about our paranormal adventures, but I thought I'd share a little bit about what happened with
Yes.
my husband and I on the Queen Mary.
I want to hear.
You have been on the Queen Mary. You've done ghost expeditions there.
I have, yes.
Have you been in the haunted room?
No, I was in the pool area, which is restricted to the public. But the pool area was very active. Not scary, but very active.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got it down in the engine room. I told the person that was investigating with me that someone died there. And it turned out that it did. The guy got crushed in the watertight doors, named John. So I got that. I was running at like 90% accuracy when I was like doing this.
Love it.
It was so fun. But anyway, so we get to the Queen Mary. We get to the room, and the way it's set up, it's a double room. So there's a door on the right side of this little hall, which is the regular hotel room door. It's got the peephole, all that stuff. And then perpendicular to that, right in front of you in the hall, there's the door to the other room that they've adjoined it to. And they've now put a window in it so that people can see into the haunted room, which never had before.
Wait, so help me out here, because I'm thinking you can look into somebody's room. So is it you're not staying in the actual room, or
you're staying in the actual room?
Someone can look at you at night, in the middle of the night, and
there's curtains.
Okay.
Yeah, they would have had a show. No, so there's two rooms that are adjoining. The room with a little window in it, as you're walking down this little hallway, it's directly in front of you. And they never had that before. And I was on the Queen Mary probably 3 or 4 years ago. That room was not open yet. And so you couldn't see in it, you couldn't anything. So I will just say, through the course of our stay, there were people constantly coming to our room.
Got it.
Because everyone knows it's haunted. Everyone knows that's the hot room. So I must have let a dozen people into our room.
Oh, so you were so kind.
I took such pleasure in letting people in. There were two staff people that worked in the gift shop that had never been in the room. I just let people in. And at one point I turned to my husband. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I hope this is okay. And he goes, yeah, I kind of don't get it. But like, clearly people are excited by this. So I must have let at least a dozen people in, right?
Oh, that's bad.
So as I walk in the door, it was kind of that whoa feeling, right? And I wish I would have let my husband in first, because he's never had a paranormal experience, and my life is a paranormal experience. And so he was kind of queuing off of me. But at the foot, so the bed is in the regular door room, and there's a settee and a table. And you know what I'll do on this? I'll edit in a view of the room so that people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, great.
So, but the second room where the window is that people can see, there's a settee and a table, all these crazy pictures. They give you a crystal ball, a deck of tarot cards where they put the devil card on top. And I'm like,
oh my God,
guys. And they give you a Ouija board. Okay, but I'm not an idiot. I brought my own Ouija board.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm not a sucker. And it was this little, it wasn't even a real Ouija board. Anyway, so I'm standing at the foot of the bed looking into the second room, and there's a big mirror above the settee, which reflects you and the bed. And there's someone laying on the bed. I can so clearly see a figure laying on the bed on my side. And I'm like, great. So this is going to be fun later. Yeah. I get in the closet, which is next to the settee. And man, that closet was hot. I sat in there and I could so feel someone standing behind me. And then at one point, this smell wafted through, and it wasn't like fart smell, but it was like, see, sometimes you walk past someone who's been living on the street for a while and you're like, wow, that hasn't been cleaned in a long time. It was sort of that smell, and it just came through. It just wafted by. I know it wasn't me. I know it wasn't my husband. I can't imagine they pumped in poop smell to the room,
I hope not.
No. So the closet was crazy. We went out and explored the ship. We had dinner. We had a lovely, I just have to say, the Queen Mary's doing it right. We had a lovely dinner, beautiful cocktails. And it is, oh my God, I'm blanking on the name of the guy that is in that room. Wow, that just left me, which is so weird because it's been popping into my head for weeks now. But anyway, the man who supposedly lives in that room, they serve his favorite drink. So we got his drink at the bar. I took it up to the room. I turned on my camera for Zoom and recorded it. We put out cat balls. We set the Ouija board in specific places. We didn't see any paranormal activity we didn't see any paranormal activity when we were gone. I watched 4 hours of video. Nothing happened. When we got back from dinner, my husband and I sat to play the Ouija board, and he had never done that before. So we sit down, and I said, I swear to you, I am not moving anything. I'm not going to mess with you. I'm not going to try to scare you. If anything happens in this space, it's just happening in this space. So we put our fingers on the Ouija board, and Amelia moves to F. And he takes his fingers off, and I said, what are you doing? And he said, well, you moved that. And I said, honey, I swear to God, I am not moving this at all. And he goes, and I said, put your fingers back. So we put his fingers back on, and this is a board that I have been using since childhood. And it was very clearly communicated to me. And I don't know if you're a Ouija board person or anybody that's listening is a Ouija board person. It was communicated to me that there was a controlling spirit for this board.
For the board?
For the board. His name is Lou.
Okay.
He was an actual person. He died in the 60s of liver cancer. He lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, that's all I know. But this guiding spirit of this board, like, he would spell out bless you, and then someone in the other room would sneeze. I mean, like, awesome. He was a smart ass, and he was very funny. So we put our hands on, and I said, hey, Lou, it's Kathy. I don't know if you're still in the realm. I said, I hope you're doing well. I said, this is my husband, and, he's never done this, and we're here in this room with the Queen Mary, and we'd like to communicate with whatever's here. And he goes to T, and then he goes to C. And I start laughing. And I said, oh my God. And Eric, my husband, said, what? And I said, my best friend and I used to play this board all the time. Her name is Tina Costa, TC. I said, Lou is asking about Tina. I said, Lou, I said, she's doing okay. She's living in Erie. We still love each other. She's actually doing some work for me. And Eric takes his hands off and goes, okay, I'm done. And he stopped. And I was like, oh, because like I could have sat there all night playing on the Ouija board, but he found it so unexplainable and so creepy, he couldn't do it anymore.
Oh, I was going to say, why did he stop? He was creeped out. Okay.
He was creeped out. And I was like, because I could have been there all night on the Ouija board. So that ended that. But I thought it was hilarious that Lou asked about my friend Tina. And when I told her that, she went, Lou. So we